Hi, Jaclyn. It's so nice to have you on the show. How are you doing today?
I'm so amazing. Thank you so much for having me, Elijah. I'm excited to be here and have a beautiful conversation.
Yeah, beautiful. Me too, I am excited. But before we get started, I want to thank you for two things. Number one, thank you for investing in yourself. You see, the fact that you dedicated time, energy, resources to becoming who you are today, I appreciate it because I am
Mm,
attracted to the end result of what you did, you know, focusing on improving yourself. The result of that action now attracted me. And now here you are, you want to benefit from your insight and your knowledge, which is so beautiful. So thank you so very much for focusing on self-improvement. And the second thing is thank
mm.
you for being here, I truly appreciate that. So I am quite excited to have you on the show, Jacqueline, for some reasons. Firstly, my interest in knowledge seeking, because I believe in order to transition from a chaotic situation to that of a beautiful one, I believe it takes the application of knowledge, quality information. And you see, Jacqueline, ever since I discovered that light in the Hebrew means knowledge and darkness means ignorance, I've been so keen to knowledge seeking. Why? Because I do not want to remain in the dark. So that's going to make our conversation today very important to me
Mm.
and even to the listeners. Now, the second reason why I'm excited to have Jacqueline on the show is for the sake of the audience. We live in an age where information is as abundant as sands, as grains of sand, and we have a lot of information flying out there. So these folks trust me for quality information. And that's why when I was reading a little bit about you, I was excited because I believe our conversation is going to be insightful. So for that reason, Jacqueline, let's get started with your introduction. Talk to us about your personal or professional journey. We're just so curious. We want to know how you got here. And afterwards, I've gotten some beautiful questions for you. Okay, Jacqueline, over to you.
Thank you. That was so beautifully stated. Just a little bit more about myself. Oh, are you still there? I think
Yeah, yeah, please go on, go on.
you're okay. Just a little bit more about myself. I'm a spiritual life coach. And I started this journey, I want to say 7 years ago, walking the spiritual path with the intention to just discover more about myself and about life. I think so many people live life through a lens that isn't fulfilling, right? We are taught kind of how to move about life. We are taught that we have to go to school, get a certain education, have a certain job, start a family. And though those things are beautiful, it doesn't always resonate. A lot of people feel like they're meant for more in life. And I am one of those people. I always had this innate knowing that I was meant to do something different. I felt like there was so much more to myself and to life in general. And I went on a deep journey to unravel those layers and figure it out. So over the last 7 years, I really got to a place where I understood who I was and was able to reignite the worth that I hold for myself. And through that and reclaiming my power, reclaiming my self worth, I started to see life so differently. So I'm teaching other people how to do the same because at the end of the day, that's our birthright. We came here to be the most powerful, most beautiful, most abundant version of ourselves and experience life through that lens as well.
Beautiful. Well said. You see, um, that was the awakening for me too. I started questioning these things. What exactly is the essence of life? Why am I here? Is it just to attend lectures and get married and get a job and all of these things? I said, there's got to be more to this stuff. And so on the pursuit of discovering what else it is that I haven't gotten yet. I got to discover who I am. So I understand you, and I think I can relate so well. Okay, let's begin first with the first question. First. All right. So, can you tell us what is light language? Can you talk to us about that?
Mm, yeah. So the way I like to describe light language is sacred sounds. So essentially, what it is are sound frequencies that are channeled through your voice and shared as such, shared as sounds. They are incredibly high vibrational frequencies that come through that the human mind will not understand, but the soul finds very deep remembrance within these frequencies. And therefore, these frequencies help people heal, they help activate remembrance from within your cells, your DNA, as well as help just shift energy. So there's many different ways to describe light language, and other teachers, other people who channel light language will have their own way of describing it. But I think the easiest way to digest it is just sound frequencies that come through someone's voice and you're able to receive it on a soul level.
I never knew that. Well, that's one of the benefits of inviting a great guest. Thank you for educating me, Jaclyn. Okay, let
Yeah.
us talk about yeah, let us talk about the power of worthiness. Okay, the power of worthiness as women. Let's concentrate it on women now. What is the power of worthiness as a woman? I don't know if you got that.
Can you repeat that? The power
Okay,
of what?
worthiness. You get it?
Oh,
Worthiness.
worthiness.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Worthiness. Yes. That's everything that I teach is rooted in worthiness. Worthiness is the value of self-worth that you have for yourself. It's innately yours. It's your birthright. It's your divinity. And especially women from, a young age, it's taken away from us. And it's not intentional, right? But we go through life being taught that we're too much, being taught that, you have to behave, you have to be quiet, while at the same time, you have to be successful, you have to be a mom, you have to be all of these things. You have to look a certain way, you have to act a certain way, and it can confuse someone. And it can slowly diminish the self-worth that you have for yourself because of outside programming, outside factors that, again, strip that away from you. So when you're able to understand that you yourself, you exactly how you are, you and your authenticity, you in this human body are worthy of being her, of being him. You are worthy of living life in the exact way that you choose to live life because it resonates with you. And maybe it doesn't make sense to everyone else, but it's authentic to you. That is understanding that you are worthy to just be. You are worthy to be her. You are worthy to live life as such. And it's such a powerful place to be in, because when you're able to stand in your self-worth, you never settle, you never question yourself. And being there, that's being in your power. So it's incredibly empowering. And it's something that, as someone who questioned their own worthiness, as someone who has settled time and time again in the past, no longer doing so and really standing in my worthiness has completely changed my life.
Now I get it. I get it. Okay, does it have codes like worthiness codes?
Yeah. So the worthiness codes, this is something about a year ago. I left everything behind. I left the relationship that was with the person I thought I was going to marry. I left a 10-year long career that I was in, and letting go of all of that subconsciously set me on a very deep awakening journey, an ascension journey, where I reclaimed my worthiness. And along this journey, I was given. We can say it was a download from source, the universe, my higher self, however you want to look at that. We can say that it was channeled. However you choose to look at it, I was given a blueprint, a formula of how to reclaim your worthiness. So that's what I refer to as the worthiness codes. It's this blueprint that I teach others.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. Okay, let us talk about the most difficult part of awakening.
Yeah. I mean, I think awakening, there's so many layers to it. It's a lot. But if we had to just sum up the hardest part to it, your old paradigm in which you experience life completely goes away. So it's almost as if one day you wake up and you just begin to see things in such a different way. You begin to see how life was so limiting through programming, through conditioning, through societal norms. And that can be really jarring because that's all you have known for however many years it's been, right? But then when you wake up out of that, you begin to see life in a completely different way. You begin to see that you are limitless, that you can become the creator of your own life, that you can live through the frequency of unconditional love, that you have the awareness to understand things at such a deeper level so you never remain victim to anything in your life. So it's a shift within the awakening process of going from an old paradigm into a new paradigm that can be really jarring for a person, but it's so beautiful at the same time.
Wow, amazing. Okay, so let us get personal a bit. I'm a bit curious now. Can you talk to us more about your own awakening journey? How did it all happen? When did it happen? Let's just get some details about that.
Yeah. So my awakening journey has been, I want to say 7 years. It's been a slow process. I started with Reiki healing, which is a form of energy healing. I did a session with someone. It completely just opened my eyes to a whole new way of feeling and seeing things. So I went on to get certified in Reiki. And then a few years after that, I had a massive awakening where I got really sick. And I was told, like, from my higher self that this was going to be a spiritual initiation. I'm going to get really sick, but everything's going to be okay. That's when that light language came on for me. I had a Kundalini awakening experience. And shortly after, I was in the hospital getting my appendix removed. So that was wild. It was really scary. But a few years after that, I had another really big awakening. And that was the past year after I left everything behind. I was subconsciously sent on an ascension journey to really begin to heal myself. I took myself to the depths of my soul. I sat with plant medicine. I did all of the things to heal ancestral wounding, my own wounding, and awaken to a place of just higher consciousness to experience life through a completely different lens and teach others how to do the same.
Amazing. I love to listen to stories like this. I find them really inspiring and powerful. That's a great one. Okay. Okay. We're almost done. We've talked about the most difficult part of awakening. Now let us talk about why people are most afraid when it comes to having an awakening. Why are people most afraid?
Yeah. I think there's two big reasons to this. The first is if you feel called to awakening, it's for a very specific reason. It's because your soul came here to awaken. Some people come here and they're not meant to awaken. They're meant to learn different lessons from a state of just being very rooted within the human 3D world, while a lot of other people come here to transcend out of that, to learn different lessons. With that, I think comes a lot of fear, because you innately know, so on a subconscious level probably, that your life is going to change. And as someone who has been there before, I was hesitant. And that's why I think I had a slower process over, 7 years, because I knew that once I said yes to the awakening process, my life was going to forever change. And that's exactly what happened. So it was scary for my ego, but it changed in the most profound, beautiful, abundant way possible. So that's the first reason. The second reason is, in order to awaken, you have to heal, right? You can't expand, you can't awaken without healing those parts of you that want to be released, that want to be seen, that want to be let go, that want to be nurtured. And so many people don't like to feel things. So many people get scared of feeling those harder emotions. So that's also a difficult part of the process. So I would say it's knowing your life is going to change, while also having to do the inner work and actually feeling those things that are difficult to then be able to awaken.
Amazing. I got that. So while you were talking earlier, you also mentioned unconditional love. So I wanted to ask, is that part of the benefit of spiritual awakening, or gift or fruit or something?
Yeah. Unconditional love is a frequency that you begin to live life through once you awaken. And what it means is that you hold love for everything. When you go through difficult times in life, you, of course, allow yourself to feel all of the feels and the emotions, because you're supposed to, right? But it's being able to hold unconditional love for it. So instead of falling victim to something or holding anger or resentment against a person for hurting you, you're able to forgive, you're able to see the beauty in the difficult situations, and you're able to rise past those lower density energies that keep you in a state of anger or victimhood or anxiety or all of those things, to then become free in a sense, right? Because unconditional love allows you to be free, because you choose love over anything else. And it's such a powerful state to live in, if that makes sense.
A lot of sense. Okay, but sorry, I'm just curious, all right. How about do you practice meditation, or how do you connect with the spiritual? Yeah.
Yeah, meditation is a huge part of my daily life. And it looks different every single day. It doesn't have to be, sitting in silence and meditating for an hour. Some days it is that. Some days, I'm either listening to meditation music and just dropping in and getting really quiet. Other days it's more of me sitting and talking out loud. That's a huge part of my meditation practice, is actually speaking and using my voice to work through something that may be on my mind, or to channel deeper information that is needed to come up. I'm a huge feeler. That's one of my gifts, is being able to feel on such deep levels. So I can sit in meditation and just feel immense gratitude for my life and start crying through just joy, while at the same time I can feel the opposite energy and feel something that needs to be healed and sit with those difficult emotions. So it just depends. But I think meditation and giving yourself your own ceremony, a self ceremony, and however that looks, journaling, setting intentions, prayer, it's such a powerful way to connect deeper to not only yourself, but to God, the universe, source, angels, guides, whatever you believe in and however you see that as well.
I got that. I got that. Okay, so to bring this to an end, Jaclyn, what would you like to leave the audience with, like a final thought? And to those ones who would like to reach out to you, learn more about what you're doing, How can that be possible?
Yeah, I would just love to reflect back to anyone listening that they are worthy of everything that they desire. If someone is in a difficult situation, whether that's a relationship that isn't serving them, whether that's a job that they don't feel fulfilled in, whether that's in something more difficult, right? There's always a way out because you are worthy of something so much more. So if you feel like you're not living up to your fullest potential or receiving what you desire in life, I invite you to not fall victim to it. I invite you to know that you are worthy of so much more and to allow yourself to get there, to allow yourself to believe in your power, in your limitless potential, and take the steps that are necessary to really begin changing your life. Because once you do so, once you give yourself permission, you will really begin to see and feel the shift happen. So just know that. And if you're interested in discovering more about, your worthiness and your power and the awakening process, I have a podcast called The Worthiness Codes, where I share specific topics and conversations, as well as I drop guided meditation and light language transmissions. And you can follow me on Instagram at Jaclyn Francis as well.
Beautiful. So that's going to be the end of the show, Jaclyn. Thank you for coming and thank you for sharing this amazing stuff with us. It means a whole lot, Jaclyn. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. It was so beautiful to be here and to meet you and to have this conversation.
That was